Page 35, Alouette. Introducing the dotted quarter and eighth pattern. We call it a dotted rhythm because it's a rhythm with a dot in it. Duh. And if you're doing what they're doing, they're ta, ti, ta, ti, ta, ti, ta. So it's that. Ta, ti, ta, ti, ta. I use the and method, so I would go 1, 2, and 1, 2, and 1, 2, and 1, or I could do and between 1 and 2, and 1 and 2, and 1 and 2, and whatever. You do however you want to. Let's talk about Alouette. So Allegretto again, it's a fun thing. You have a DCL fine at the end. DC means go back to the beginning and go to fine, DCL fine. Fine is at the end of the first line. So you're going to play the first line, then the second line, and then go back and play the first line again. You're in G position to start with, it looks like, because in the right hand the thumb's on G. Not going to stay there, but you are. At least for the first line you are. For the second line, look at the second measure. The right hand, you want a third finger on D, so you got to come down here. Right? And then for the next measure, on the third measure, second line, right hand, you got to go up here. You're back in G position. So you're only moving for that one measure. Not a bad deal. For the left hand, you're in G position because the first note in the left hand is a D. This D. And then you have that chord. That's G position. Then in the second line, you got to go down an octave to this G position. You got one rest, one beat rest to do that in. Practice it if you have to. In the next measure, you go up and put your third finger on, or I'm sorry, second finger on B. And then here. For the third measure, it's little finger on D. And then you're going to go back and play the first line again, so you got to go back to G position. You can work out those hand movements, just practice them, you'll get them. Takes a little time. There's no pedal in this, so we won't worry about it. I don't know how well you're getting this, whether you're struggling or what you're doing. I'm going to pretend that you're getting it good. I can add a little bit more. If you're struggling with it, forget this part, okay? But I want to talk a little bit about the rests. The rest is important. It's supposed to be silent. The composer or arranger put it there for a reason. Now, in the second measure, there's a dotted line. Okay, you see the dotted line between the G and the B. Last two beats. That just tells you the melody goes down. The left hand is playing a melody note. So connect it like melody. In the third measure, in the left hand, you have a dotted half note. Remember dotted notes? The dot gets half the count, or the half of the value of the note. A half note in common time gets 2 counts. Therefore, the dot gets half of that, which is 1 count. Put them together, 3 counts. So that dotted half note is 3 counts. You lift it up on count 4. Right when you get to count 4 is when it ends. So it's this for the third measure. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Right when I play that last beat, I'm going to lift that up. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. That gets a little tricky, but again, I would encourage you to start practicing these other little things because later on the music gets trickier, and if you could get this now, you're that much further ahead then. In the last measure of the first line, in the left hand, you have a quarter note, a quarter rest to rest 1 beat, and then a quarter note. And then you're going to rest 1 beat. Make sure the quarter note is a full beat, and only that. So you're going to press it down on beat 1, but then when I play that A again, I've got to lift it up. So it's important how long you hold a note down, all right? Don't cheat, don't just hold it. That's not what's written, all right? Just do it, it's just one beat, that's all you get. Now in the second line, the second measure, all of those notes are melody, so you want them to sound like one continuous, make it sound like one hand played the whole thing, okay? Okay, that takes a little practice because you got to figure out how it's got to sound like one line. You can do that. You have staccato in the next to the last measure of the second line. Not a problem. Use finger staccato. Just click, just pluck it. Okay. Let's try it out. Common time is 4/4 time. I'll give you 4 counts and we'll come in. So the right hand's in G position here. Left hand's in G position here. I am so ready for this. Here we go. 1, 2, ready, go. 1 and 2 and 2 and rest.